Hi, my friend, Sam Villa here with SalonSense. Today, my special guest I'm very honored to have, is Andrew Carruthers, the education director for the Sam Villa brand from Lunatic Fringe in Salt Lake City. Andrew, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Today I want to talk about a couple things about the salon, Lunatic Fringe. Let's talk about where do you get your stylists? Where do you hire from, and where do you pull from?
It's a good question because we almost strictly hire fresh talent, fresh out of school. And the reason for that is we find that if we raise them up within our culture, the culture is much stronger in them. It's kind of like saying the force is strong in them, you know? And what happens when I bring in more experienced hairdressers is a lot of times they say, yeah, I'm willing to adapt, I'm willing to change, and they are to a point, but they just don't have that same heart. And it's not even necessarily that the technical skills are missing or challenging, it's that the heart and soul, which is so essential to us, that's what doesn't tend to adapt very easily.
So do you go to schools and demonstrated schools so that you can kind of attract them to come to Lunatic Fringe to apply for a position?
Yep. What we have is a program that we have a guy in our salon, his name's Rafa, and his specific role is once a month, bare minimum once a month actually, he visits the schools in our areas. And he goes in, and, you know, he'll take usually a couple staff members. If Jake or I have time, we'll go with him. But we just go in and we educate. It's kind of like exactly what we do. We build our brand off of education. You know, our viewers are here because we give them great education. And that's how we attract new talent into the salon.
All right, so now you've got this new talent, you've been able to attract them, which I absolutely love. I think for the viewers out there, salon owners, go to your neighborhood, your city's cosmetology schools. Some of the colleges, some of the high schools even have programs.
Yep.
But really let them know what you're about. So, okay, so now you've attracted these young ones, which I love the concept of hiring you young ones because they only know one Bible, so to speak.
Sure.
All right, so now we got them there. So now what's the next step? How do you build their skill sets? Do you have an associate program? How does that work?
So we have a training program that can take usually anywhere between 6 to 9 or 10 months,
Wow.
depending on how aggressive they are. They go through blow drying class first thing. They basically relearn all their blow drying processes. They go through cutting and coloring classes. And until they've actually tested out on all three of those, they're not considered a full-fledged stylist.
And that takes anywhere from 6 to 10 months?
6 to 10 months usually.
Okay, so now you've got them behind the chair. How are you gonna help them build a clientele?
Okay, so this is something that we've been talking a lot about, and I think this is a really important conversation for you that are salon owners to have with your younger staff. My big message right now is it's not good enough to just be good anymore. You have to have a point of difference. And especially as a fresh stylist, there is a lot of people out there competing for the same business that you're trying to attract into your chair. And if you don't have a point of difference, if you don't have something that separates you from the crowd, you're just gonna get mixed into the crowd. There's a lot of decent hairdressers out there, and you're in direct competition with them.
So what is the point of difference for Lunatic Fringe?
For a Lunatic Fringe stylist, we really try and focus on a balance of a couple different things. One, of course, technical skill, because that's what they're gonna wear every single day. The second part, and honestly, the more important part, is your bedside manner. How does your guest feel in your chair, right?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Love that, love the way you phrase it.
I have a couple stylists, and they aren't the best hair cutters or hair colorists in the world, but they're the sweetest, most genuine, most personal people, and they have the best quality clientele.
That reminds me of when I had my salon. It was amazing because I did have a person that just could not cut their way out of a paper bag, yet they were busy. So I love what you're saying. It's that whole phrase that we continue to talk about, and that's people buy people, then they buy things. Sounds like these few people that you have that are like that, they make a connection. That's huge, that's huge. Okay, what about education? How important is education? You mentioned that earlier, but how is that to support, once you got that clientele, now how do you hold on to them? What do you encourage your team to do?
So there's a lot of different places that education can be found. It doesn't even necessarily have to be getting on an airplane to go do it. It could be just renting a DVD from a lot of the places online that have pay-per-view almost for hairdressers.
Redken Education on Demand.
Yes, and you rent one of those DVDs, videos online, and you get some doll heads and you educate yourself at night with your friends at the salon. Now, here's the important thing. Your guest doesn't know that you've invested that time and energy until you tell them. So this is a really essential part of your conversation behind the chair, is you're sharing this with your clientele that, hey, I'm investing in my craft, in my education, and they should know that because that's part of your investment.
I totally agree with you. I remember what I used to do was their training program was held during salon hours.
Oh, wow.
So I was actually training them on the floor. Why? Because I totally agree with what you're saying. What I wanted the clients to see was that these people were being trained.
Yep.
So every time they saw that, they would go, what's Sam doing there? Over there with the associate. Oh, that's part of their training program. And guess what? The models were actually my clients.
Yeah.
So what happened was, eventually when these people went on the floor, the clients couldn't get in with me, they would book with that particular stylist and say, you know what, that stylist cut my hair, book me with that person, they fall in love with that person, they go, that person's half the price Sam is, rebook me with that person, which is exactly, as a salon owner, what I wanted. So, okay, so we talked about where you attract these young people, how you go through and you train them, the belief system that you have in terms of the culture. Sounds like you've got a great culture at Lunatic Fringe.
That's the heart.
Talk about the culture.
The culture is really similar to what we have here. That's why it's been a really good fit for me to come on board with you, Sam. And again, it's all about the heart of the company. We're a family, we're friends, we love and take care of each other just as well as we do our own families. Maybe even sometimes better, honestly.
Because you spend so much time together,
Yeah,
right?
we're there all the time together. And even though my staff knows that I'm out here and busy, they know that they can still call me or contact me for anything that they need. And that's from the youngest stylist. I got a text from one of our new assistants this morning, and it was really cool. It was just her wishing me a happy day.
That's great.
Yeah.
Love that. All right, well, listen, Andrew, I really want to thank you so much for your time. Really, some of the things I picked up here in terms of is attracting the new, supporting them, getting them strong in their skill sets. Education is important.
Yeah.
And then teaching them how to hold on to a clientele. We really believe that communication is wealth. And in this industry, it's so important that you establish a great line of communication in terms of how you communicate behind that chair. And then remembering that people buy people, then they buy things. Andrew, so happy to have you here as a guest on SalonSense. We will continue to bring you SalonSense, which was all about the business and the salon world, how you can help grow your salon and your team. Continue to watch Andrew Carruthers at Samvia. And I'm so happy he's the education director for the Samvia brand. Thanks for joining us. Andrew, my friend, thank you, and continued great success at Lunatic Fringe. One last thing, though. You're up for some awards.
Yes.
For NAHA. Talk about that very quickly, NAHA.
All right, we got four that we're looking
Awesome.
for. Yeah, we've got Salon Team of the Year. My business partner, Jake Thompson's up for Avant Garde.
Love Jake.
One of our new guys, Jeremy McDougall, is up for Newcomer of the Year.
Wow.
And this guy is up for Men's Hairstyling.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Exactly what we're going to bring to you is a little bit more knowledge on men. And Andrew's going to help support that. Thanks again for joining us. Take care and enjoy your day. We'll see you again next time.
Bye-bye.